Dear students, so let us start with accounting for AS and AD. So let us have a brief overview, syllabus overview. So you can see you might have got some books which have been given to you by your friends or relatives. There may be some notes already available, and you may be having some question papers and some written stuff or some material with you. So you may be confused whether to use it or not, and whether the syllabus have changed or what. So many doubts will be there. So see, accountancy is not so constantly changing like other subjects like be it taxation or law, because law is regularly changing. It is regularly updated, but accountancy is not so frequently changing. The same accountancy which was there several years back, you will be learning, but with some small modifications. Yes, you can use 2025 books, 2023 books. Uh, you can use the previous books also for reference, and all the concepts are almost similar. So there may be small changes. There may be small changes. So which will be incorporated in the new syllabus. So you don't have to worry much. So you will gradually learn. So if you have any old books, then also you can start learning, and you can study with the new books as well. So don't think the old books are waste and you have to discard them or something like that. Okay. So let us have a brief overview of the syllabus. See, the same syllabus, there are syllabus in 2023-25, the old syllabus. So old syllabus or and new syllabus, there are not much change. So almost they are same. So why should we bother about the old syllabus? So let's not waste our time on the old syllabus. Let's dive into the concept of new syllabus. So we'll see what all is included in new syllabus. So just go through this brief. Just go through this. It will take hardly some time for you to go through, and this very important inputs have been given so that you can have a systematic approach towards the subject. Okay, so then, so what will be there? AS level topics, A level topics, AS level topics, type of business entity, the accounting system, accounting for non-current assets, reconciliation and verification, preparation of financial statements, analysis and communication of accounting information, cost and cost behavior. So this is from cost and management accounting. So cost and cost behavior, traditional costing methods. So A-level topics: preparation of financial statements, regular ethical considerations, business acquisition and merger, computer accounting systems, analysis and communication of accounting information, activity-based costing, standard costing, budgeting, and budgetary control, investment advisor. So these are the things. So let us go in detail. So let us go in detail. Like, see, what does it say? Cambridge International is an 11 previous students well for university because they learn to go into subject in considerable depth that there is that ability to really understand the depth and richness of the detail of the subject. It's a wonderful preparation for what they're going to face at the university. Okay, so you should be proactive. You don't be procrastinating. So be uh, structured. So there are three stages for you to learn the subject. So one is knowledge and understanding, first thing, then analysis and capability, then evaluation skills. So all these things are required. So to understand this, your basic conceptual skills should be very strong. So conceptual skills, application of conceptual skills is very much important. So AS level content. So what are the AS level content? So first, types of business entity. What are the various types of business entity? Like the different types of business entity, like sole trader, partnership, limited company. Oh, who is a sole trader? Sole trader is when you as a person start your own business. When a single person starts a business on his own, he is called sole trader. Sole means one trader. Only one trader is involved. So he starts the business and he runs everything on his own. So partnership is a what do you say? It is association of two more than two people, maybe two or more than two. Okay, so association, and then they pool their resources and they do the business. So that is what is partnership. So limited company. So limited company in this the shares and all. So any number of people can invest in shares and they can start doing the business. So then it is called limited company, including public limited company. Public limited company. So this is also an entity where you can do the business as a separate person along with so then the accounting system, what is there in the next lesson? So the first lesson is the first thing what you have to know is all about these types of business entity. What are the different types of business entity? Understanding of sole trader partnership. So again, advantages and disadvantages of these types of business entity, sources of finance and methods of financing business, including loans, secure and secured bank overdraft. So there may be questions based on this. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of types of business entity to take relevant decisions. Okay, so questions on limited liability partnerships will not be given. So there is one more entity called limited liability partnerships, or it is known as LLP. Okay, so you don't have to. Questions will not ask any. No questions will be asked from this. So only sole trader partnership limited company. So including public limited company. So the questions will be based on this. So in particularly in each level you will be asked questions. You need to understand what are the benefits, what are the advantages, disadvantages of sole trader partnership, advantages, disadvantages, limited company, advantages, disadvantages, sources of finance and methods of finance. So what are the advantages, disadvantages vis-a-vis sole trader partnership, vis-a-vis partnership limited company, partner sole trader vis-a-vis limited company. So all these things. So a candidate is expected to use their understanding of the types of business entity to take relevant decisions. Okay, so you are supposed to take relevant decisions, and the questions may be based out of this. So you have to ask, you have to answer you have to answer the questions based on your understanding of these conceptual skills. This is the first thing, and it is very very important. Okay, so very important. You need to know this particular aspect. The accounting system. So the next part is accounting system. So accounting system is candidates will examine the need for systematic recording of business transactions for how the double entry can be used to achieve the aim. So accounting system, what do you mean by double entry system? How to record business transactions? What is this accounting function? The role of books of prime entry in the recording of business transactions like sales journal, return journal, sales return journal, purchase journal. So all these books of accounts. Okay, so in a business, you need to maintain all these books. When the transactions are in a large quantity, you need to maintain all these books, and you need to maintain a record. So then you have to, you have to learn how to prepare preparation of ledger accounts. The purpose of trial balance, how to prepare trial balance, advantages and disadvantages of maintaining full accounting records. So what is the double entry system, and why we are doing that? So we have to understand the basic concepts like business entity concept, historical cost concept, money measurement concept, going concern concept, consistency, prudence, realization, duality. So there is an entire different lesson. Based on this, we'll discuss all these things in very detail, great detail, and so you can have brief overview of all these things. So the use of computerized accounting system in recording financial transactions, the advantages, disadvantages of accounting of introducing a computerized accounting system, the ways in which the security of data can be ensured with the computerized accounting system. So all these things you'll be learning. So in AS level itself. So this is also part of AS level syllabus. So here particularly you need to, there are a lot of concepts related to business, whether it is what is double entry and what is bookkeeping, and various concepts related to accounting. So you will be learning more in detail in another lesson. So another lesson is accounting for non-current assets. Candidates will look at the classification of business expenditure with particular reference to treatment of assets. So capital, revenue, income, and expenditure. What is the significance of capital expenditure? What do you mean by revenue expenditure? So what is the significance and relevance? The difference between treatment of capital and revenue income and capital and revenue expenditure, the effect of profit and loss assets of incorrect treatment of capital and revenue. So effect on profit or loss and asset value of the incorrect treatment of profit. So what happens if non-current assets? What do you mean by non-current assets? First of all, so then changing asset values. So what happens when it changes? What are the things that have to be done? Changing value asset values. Candidates should have understanding of factors that cause the value of non-current assets to depreciate. The purpose of accounting for depreciation non-current assets and associate application of relevant accounting concepts. How to calculate depreciation using the reducing balance method, straight line method, the most appropriate method of calculating depreciation. How to measure the value of non-current assets by the method of cost model or evaluation model, how to prepare ledger accounts and journal entries for non-current assets, acquisition, revaluation, depreciation, disposal, including entries for past part exchanges. So how to calculate profit or loss on disposal of non-current assets, how to record the net effect of charging depreciation in the statement of profit or loss, statement of financial position. So all these things you learn. So particularly, this part is related to accounting for non-current assets. So, so reconciliation and verification. So this is another part. Candidates will assess the importance of being able to prepare complete and accurate financial statements from understanding business records. So a reconciliation and verification should have understanding of need of reconcile how ledger accounts using documentation, internal, external sources, the benefits and limitations of reconciliation and verification procedures. So all these things is being taught. So then we you will learn how to reconcile the differences if there are any mistakes, how to do, how to rectify, how to find out all these things, like reconciliation and verification. So trial balance should have an understanding of errors which affect the trial balances, errors which do not affect the trial balance, omission, commission principle, original entry, reversal, compensating. So all these things you need to learn in detail how to prepare ledger accounts and journal entries to the correct errors using a suspense account. So the effect of the financial statements on the correction of errors, the benefits and limitations of trial balance. So then we learn bank reconciliation statement, which is a candidate understanding of getting cash flows, how to prepare bank reconciliation statement, the benefit of limitation of preparing a bank reconciliation statement. So then control accounts. Candidates should have understanding of entries in control accounts, sales ledger control accounts, and purchase ledger control accounts. Reconciliation statements between control account balances and ledger balances, the effect of financial statements of the correction of errors, the benefits and elimination of control accounts. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of reconciliation and verification to provide relevant information and make informed business decisions. So you will be learning this as one lesson. So there are three different lessons. Okay, so one is trial balance and related to that rectification, suspense account, all those things. Then business bank reconciliation statement where you compare the transactions with the business. Your bank passbook with the cash book. So you will learn what is parallel. So then control accounts. Control accounts should have understanding of your entries in control accounts, sales ledger, control accounts, purchase ledger, reconciliation statement between control account balances ledger. So effect on financial statement, correction of errors, all these things you will be learning in this part. So, so we'll be solving, what do you say, question papers based on this, and a lot of practical question papers also will be solving. So it's very important. It will be very interesting for you to learn. Analysis and communication of accounting information. Candidates will have diverse interests and range of information needs of parties and interest on business. Candidates will assess how financial information can be analyzed and interpreted using a range of financial ratios in order to allow users of financial statements to gain understanding of the business performance. So they will use use of accounting information. So what are the different requirements to owners, managers, employees, investors? So why is accounting information required to all these people? So then the stakeholders, what do you mean by stakeholders? All these things. So we will be learning this. Uses of accounting information, analysis and communication of accounting information. Then what are the various things we'll be doing here? So we'll be using calculation and evaluation of ratios. Okay, so here you can see uh, candidates will evaluate the diverse interests and range of information. So participants may have interest in business. Candidates will assess how financial information can be managed into the range of financial ratios in order to allow users of financial to gain an understanding of the business performance. They will explore the use of such ratios in comparison similar business and industry benchmarks, during having appreciation of problems within the limited usefulness of such analysis. So then, what is there? What are the different type of ratios? So calculation of evaluation of ratios, so the understanding of how to calculate the accounting ratios, measuring profitability, liquidity, and efficiency. Profitability ratios are like gross profit margin, markup profit margin, return on capital employed, expenses to revenue ratio, operating expenses to revenue ratio, liquidity ratios, current ratio, asset test ratio, efficiency ratios, non-current assets turnover, trade receivables turnover days, trade payables turnover days, and unit return. So candidates may use the formula given in appendix to section 3. So we'll see, we'll just have a look at the formulas also. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of the calculation and the evaluation of ratios to make informed business decisions and relevant information. Cost and management accounting. So in AS level, you will have cost and management accounting, also a bit of cost and management. So cost and cost management, material and labor movements. So how to account for material and labor. So you will be learning how to use a first in first out method, average. So methods of costing like first in first out method, average cost method. So this is costing of materials. Okay, when you cost material, when you account for what is the principles of just in time inventory method. So all these things will be learning. So then candidates expected to the understanding of accounting for materials and labor to evaluate relevant information make informed business decisions. So in this particular this one you will be learning material, labor, and overheads. Overheads also. Overheads is a different lesson. So let us see. Yeah, traditional costing methods, absorption costing. So absorption costing. So this is for overheads. Candidates will cover how to account for cost using absorption management costing as well as export of import of changes in business ingredients. So candidates will learn unique implementation of contrasting approaches and examine how this trade may use in cost. Costing applications should have an understanding of how to apply traditional costing methods to prepare costing methods in job and costing. So absorption costing should have understanding of what is absorption costing, cost center, cost method, allocation of absorption, overheads within production and service departments, how to calculate overhead absorption rates, all this. So this is just a brief overview. So we'll be delving in deep when we are doing the problems. So then marginal costing. Marginal costing should have understanding of how to calculate contribution products. So what is contribution, what is fixed cost, what is margin of safety, what is a break-even point, what is the contribution to sales ratio, level of output to sales. So many things are there which you need to understand in marginal costing. So traditional costing methods. So then we will have cost volume profit analysis. So candidates are understanding the advantages of element value, cost volume profit analysis, the usefulness of cost volume profit data. So how to apply costing concepts, non-financial factors, and this candidates are to use the understanding of costing to evaluate different relevant information and inform business decisions. So all these things we'll learn in ES level. So these are the syllabus for the ES level. So we'll be working out a couple of questions and try to understand the concepts. We'll discuss question papers. We'll discuss mock exams and test your knowledge questions. So all these things will be done. Okay. So yes. So A-level content. So what is in A-level content? Financial accounting A-level content. So preparation of financial statements. So all these things you already learned in AS level. Most of it you have learned in AS level, but this is a step ahead. Like we'll have to uh, move a step ahead with all these things like partnerships, change in profit sharing ratio. When there are changes in partnership that you will learn here, retirement, admission, debt dissolution of partnership firm, all these things will learn here. So then, so as far as partnership is concerned, we will learn changes in partnership. So changes in partnership firm. So this is the first thing you learn in A level after AS level. In the second part, you will learn preparation of financial statements of clubs and societies. So that is non-profit organizations like clubs and societies, how to record, how to prepare income expenditure and sorry, statement of income and statement of financial positions, everything. So then manufacturing business, how to record the income statement of manufacturing accounts. So and or how to prepare financial statements of manufacturing firms, limited companies, how to prepare, what are the various concepts related to limited companies. So like statement of profit and loss, statement of financial position, cash flow, changes in equity, schedule of non-current assets. Very important aspects, and we'll discuss a lot of questions based on this. And we'll solve examination-oriented questions. Candidates are expected to use their understanding financial accounts of partnerships, clubs and societies, manufacturing business, limited companies to evaluate relevant information and makes informed business decisions. So you will be asked to prepare the financial statements of limited companies also and then financial statements of the manufacturing business. So in A levels, this is you should have a comprehensive knowledge, concept, comprehensive skills. So regulatory and ethical considerations. So we'll be discussing regulatory or ethical consideration, particularly international accounting standards and what are the requirements, how to the main provisions of each of the following international accounting standards like presentation of financial statements, what are the consideration you need to keep in mind. Inventories, how to value the inventory, seven different types of inventories are there, and the group of inventories are there. Statement of cash flows, how to prepare a statement of cash flow, what are the different uh, things related to a statement of cash flows, accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates and others, the concepts related to that. So what happens when there are changes in accounting estimates, errors. So events after the accounting period. So suppose if there is any event, how to record it, how to plan, how to report it, property, plant and equipment. So how to record and report and various kind of concepts related to property, plant and equipment, impairment of assets, what is impairment, how to deal with it. So provisions, contingent liabilities, and contingent assets. So all these concepts we'll be discussing. So intangible assets, concepts related to intangible assets. So we'll be discussing all this in detail. So for guidance on the scope of each item, the candidates are able to follow it. Teachers are advised to consult the document. Teachers guiding for accounting companies this syllabus. So we will be discussing this as a whole. So don't worry about this. Then ethical considerations. So ethical considerations like in accounting as a subject, ethical considerations, candidates should have understanding of the need for ethical framework in accounting, the fundamental principles of integrity, objectivity, professional competence, confidentiality, professional behavior. So auditors, accountants, auditors impact and the social implications of decision making. So these things are very important in finance. So that is one thing we need to keep in mind. So this is all we will be learning in this lesson as a thing and one more what are the other things and let us see. So regular and ethical considerations continue. So auditing and stewardship of limited companies. What is auditing? Why it is done? What are the areas? So candidates are expected to use their understanding of ethical consideration and auditing and to learn economic information and make informed business decisions. So even this is very important. So business acquisition and merger. Candidates will investigate reasons why business may choose to grow away. So business acquisition, how to account when there is a business acquisition and when there is a merger. When two businesses come together and form an entity to take the what is the synergy, advantages of synergy and all these things. So then, so it is very important lesson like candidates are expected to use their understanding of business acquisition and merger to evaluate relevant information and make informed business decisions. So this is another part you will learn in here. So computers accounting systems, so why computers accounting systems and also analysis and communication of accounting information. So this is very important topic like you need to calculate lessons, you need to calculate various ratios. So, okay, so now come to the next part, cost and management accounting. So ABC, activity based costing. So here we will be learning a different method of accounting of overheads. So that is activity based costing. Based on activities, we calculate the overheads and cost of a product. And so they may be asked to compare and contrast the uh, cost of a product using absorption costing and ABC, and then compare and contrast. So you may be asked how to apply ABC costing to make business decision recommendations using supporting data. So this is one very important thing. So standard costing, standards will consider candidates will consider how business may use standard. So there is something known as standard costing. So the meaning of system of standard costing in an organization, advantages and disadvantages of standard costing system, direct material price variance, usage variance, and labor rate and efficiency, overhead expenditure, volume variance. So all these things, so different variances we will learn in this lesson. So it is more technical in respect. So a lot of students find difficulty in understanding this lesson. So you have to be very proactive. And if you are starting, we give a lot of importance on this particular topic because this is very important from the examination perspective. So candidates will also evaluate non-financial considerations and factor within the decisions. So then budget and budgetary. So budget and budgetary control. Candidates will investigate the reasons why organization use some budgetary control. So budgeting, like there are so many. Here in this lesson, we will be learning budgets and budgeting and budgetary control, like the sales budget, production budget, purchase budget, labor budget, trade sales budget, repair budget, cash budget, statement of profit and loss budget, statement of financial position, the effect of limiting factors in the process of budgets. All these things we will learn here. So benefits of Excel budget. So a lot of important aspects. So these are all also then let us see what is there. Okay. Appendix summary of commonly used ratios AS and AL, profitability ratios, gross profit margin, gross profit upon revenue into 100, markup ratio, markup percentage, gross profit upon cost of sales into 100, profit margin. So profit per year upon revenue into 100 also can be expressed as ratio profit per year after interest upon revenue into 100. So return on capital employed, revenue from operations over capital employed into 100. Capital employed is equal to as issued shares plus wages plus non-current liabilities. So then expenses to revenue ratio, expenses upon revenue into 100, and operating expenses to revenue ratio. So operating expenses upon revenue into 100. So liquidity ratios. So current ratio, current assets upon current liabilities. Answer represented as a ratio. So then presented as a ratio. Asset test ratio, current assets minus inventory upon current liabilities. Answer presented as a ratio. So then efficiency ratio. So non-current assets turnover times net present net revenue. So net revenue, the total net book value of non-current assets. Then trade receivables turnover ratio, trade receivables upon credit sales into 365 days. So trade payables turnover days, trade payables by trade purchase into 365 days, inventory turnover days, average inventory upon cost of sales into 365 days, rate of inventory turnover times cost of sales by average inventory. So then solvency ratios. So these are in A levels only. Working capital cycle days. So trade receivables turnover days plus inventory turnover days minus trade payables turnover days. Net working assets to revenue, interest assets on revenue sales into 100. Net working assets is equal to inventories plus trade sales minus trade payables. Interest cover times profit from operations over interest payable. Gearing percentage, fixed cost capital upon total capital into 100, which is non-current liabilities upon issued in ordinary issued capital plus reduced non-current liabilities into 100. So then investment ratios, block and stock exchange ratios, A level only, earnings per share, profit per year, number of issued ordinary shares. So price earnings, so market price per share by earnings per share, dividend per share is annual dividend declare ordinary dividend for number of issued ordinary shares where ordinary actual annual ordinary dividend is equal to interim dividend plus final dividend proposed. So dividend yield, so dividend per share upon market price per share, dividend cover profit for their ability to pay ordinary dividend for annual ordinary dividends. Calculate ratios using year-end balances that are appropriate unless the question specifies the use of average figures. So calculate ratios using year-end balances were appropriate. You under the question specified the use of average figures. Calculate ratios for the number of decimal places required in the question. So, so that's all. So the next part is investment appraisal. So candidates will address the various investment appraisal techniques like payback period, accounting rate of return, net present value, internal rate of return, how to calculate questions on discounted payback will not be set. Okay, so discounted payback will not be set. Okay, so questions involving residual value of investment data deposit will not be set. So remember this is very important note. So this all you have in management accounting. So Cambridge syllabus Cambridge ICC accounting 452. So let's discuss, dear friends. Let's discuss syllabus Cambridge accounting for, to use the syllabus for exams in 2026. Exams are available in June and November series. Exams are also available in the March series in India. Okay, so specifically only in India March series are available. So the syllabus for this particular thing. So a lot of students might be having some textbooks with they have got it from their friends or some notes, or and they may be having a doubt whether the same syllabus is continuing or is there any difference or something like that. So you don't have to worry about. So 90% of the syllabus will be same, and only a bit of around 5 to 10% if there, if at all, if there is any change. So you learn it now gradually when you're doing lessons in the class or when we're discussing over here. So you don't have to worry about that because accounting is almost the same some from couple of years. So normally the subject of accounting normally doesn't change unless otherwise there are some new standards that are coming up and there are some recent amendments if there are anything. So which is very rare and which is very less. So not so substantial when as compared to other subjects like law, taxation and all. So it is the same thing. So the books keep changing, but the content is almost same. Around 90% of the content is almost same. So the syllabus you can see there may be small changes. So you need to be updated. So you cannot take it for granted, or you cannot just be being lazy. So you can see here what does it say. So the latest syllabus version published 2020 now significant changes with about teaching. So any textbook endorsed to support the syllabus for examination from 2020 are still suitable for use with this syllabus. See, it's very important update. Okay. So see, new books come up. So teachers start teaching from there. Students also start learning from there. So this particular part is very important. So just see, it is so highly so important as what we discuss here. See, so this is what this is not from anywhere. This is from this university. So Cambridge International. So we can just see. So important changes to the syllabus. For information about changes to the syllabus, go to page 27. The latest syllabus in the version 1 published at September 23, there are no significant changes to the teaching. Any textbook endorsed to support the syllabus for account for examination from 2020 are still suitable for the use with this syllabus. Okay, from 2020 the books are almost same. So this now it is 2025. So even if the books are before 2020, so there may be small changes. So you can simply just compare and contrast. So you will be learning the differential thing now. So don't have to worry about the syllabus. Almost the syllabus are almost same which the earlier versions of the books. So then, So what we'll be learning in overall? So content overview. So content overview you can just see here. So content overview in IGCSE accounting, the fundamentals of accounting, subject the difference between accounting and bookkeeping, sources of recording of data, the various documents that you are maintaining in business. So then verification of accounting records, accounting procedures, preparation of financial statements, analysis, preparation, accounting principles and policies. So all these things you'll be learning. So let us see in detail. So the fundamentals of accounting, the purpose of accounting, explain difference between bookkeeping and accounting measures, explain the purpose of preparing business profit and loss. So accounting equation, meaning of assets, liabilities, ownership, explain and apply the accounting equation. So we'll be discussing and working out problems using this. Okay, so the double entry system of bookkeeping. What does it mean by double entry? What is debit and credit? Why? So outline the double entry system of bookkeeping. So prepare ledger accounts, transactions to ledger accounts, balance ledger accounts, interpret ledger accounts, and balances. So division of ledger into sales ledger, division of ledgers also with that. So then sources and recording of data, so business documents. So then business documents, what are the various business documents will be using, like invoice, credit note, check, quarter file, paying slip, balance sheet, bank statement, books of prime entry. So what are the books of prime entry? What do you mean by understand the advantage of using books of prime entry? So what do you mean by, so why I explain the use and process of accounting data in the books of prime entry, cash book, petty cash book, sales, purchase journal, sales return journal, purchase return journal, was the ledger entries from the books of prime entry, distinguish between the account and trade account and cash discounts, explain the difference from cash book and book of prime entry and the ledger. So then this one, explain the use of and record payment and receipts made by bank transfers or electronic means. Explain and apply the interest system of petty cash. Verification of accounting record, the trial balance, understanding that the trial balance is statement of fact. So what is trial balance? All that how to prepare. So identify explain the errors we know how to fill the trial balance, list which affects the trial balance. So then correction of errors, how to rectify if there are any errors, correct errors, the means of genuine entries, use of suspense account as temporary measure. So adjust profit or loss for an accounting period after the correction of errors, understanding the effect of correction of errors. So then verification of accounting records continue, bank reconciliation, understand the use and purpose of bank statements, update the this one cash book of bank charges, bank interest paid into the receipt correction errors, bank reconciliation. So understand the purpose and prepare the bank reconciliation statement to include bank errors, all those things. So then control accounts, understand the purpose of purchase ledger and sales ledger of accounts, identify books of primary assets, source of information, prepare purchase ledger and sales ledger, control accounts, prepare purchase, credit sales, so all these things, and also debit and credit within each account. Accounting procedures, capital and revenue expenditure and receipts. Distinguish between capital and account for capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Distinguish between account for capital receipts, revenue receipts. So significance of all these things. Calculate and comment on effect on profit and incorrect treatment. So calculate, comment on the effect of asset valuation on incorrect treatment. Accounting for depreciation of disposal on non-current assets. Define depreciation. Accounting procedures continued. Other payables and receivables recognize the importance of matching costs between revenues, prepare revenue, ledger accounts and inventories to record accrued and prepaid expenses. So, prepare ledger accounts and inventories to record accrued and prepaid expenses, incomes and expenses. So, ethical debts and provision for doubtful debts. Understand the meaning of ethical debts and recovery bad debts. So, how to treat, how to record, prepare ledger accounts and inventories to record creation of adjustment to provision for doubtful debts. Valuation of inventory. So valuation of inventory, like understand the basis of valuation of inventory, lower of cost, net present value, simple valuation techniques. So how to what is the importance of valuation of inventory and the effect of incorrect valuation of inventory on profit and loss, and statement of financial position, preparation of financial statements, sole traders. So preparation of financial statements of sole traders, partnership forms. So then preparation of financial statements of partnership forms. So it's known as partnership forms. So preparation of financial statement of limited companies. So all these things we'll be learning in detail. Clubs and societies. How to prepare financial statements of clubs and societies. Preparation of financial statements of manufacturing accounts, incomplete records, analysis and preparation of accounting ratios, gross profit, profit margin, return on capital employed, current ratio, liquid ratio, all these things will be learning. So then analysis and preparation continued. So various ratios inventory valuation of inventory, intercompany comparison, understand the problems of intercompany comparison, apply accounting ratios, then comparison. So interested parties, for the interested parties, owners, managers, so various ratios that we use, limitations of accounting statements. So then accounting principles and policies. What are the various accounting principles and policies we use, and matching guidance and consistency, duality, and historical reality measurement, prudence, realization. So all these things will accounting policies, comparative relevance, reliable information, understandability. So the ratios you'll be learning very important. So important ratios for you to learn in IGCSE accounting. So candidates should know the following accounting ratios: gross profit, so that is gross margin, so that is gross profit upon revenue into 100. So markup is equal to gross profit upon costs of sales into 100. So there is a difference between this and this. For profit margin, profit per year upon revenue into 100. So then return on capital employed, net profit before interest upon capital employed into 100. Capital employed is equal to issued shares plus reserves plus non-current liabilities. So then liquidity ratios. The liquidity ratio is equal to current assets upon current liabilities, also known as working capital ratio, liquid asset test ratio. So liquid or asset test ratio, current assets minus inventories upon current liabilities, also known as quick ratio, rate of inventory turnover, cost of goods sold upon average inventory. So then it is in times, mentioned in times. So trade receivables turnover ratio, trade receivables by credit sales into 365. So trade payables turnover, that is trade payables by credit purchases into 365. That is number of days in a year. So these are the important formula you need to remember before starting working on ratio analysis, particularly ratios, problems on ratios. You need to learn by heart and then apply and then use and interpret and tell the interpretation. So we'll discuss accounting ratios in IGCSE. So what are the various formula you need to learn this formula, you have to understand and apply these formulas wherever required, and you have to find out and interpret. Gross margin is gross profit upon revenue into 100. Markup is equal to gross profit upon cost of sales into 100. Profit margin, so profit for the year upon revenue into 100. Revenue, return on capital employed, so net profit before interest upon capital employed into 100. What is capital employed? Issued shares plus business plus non-current liabilities. So liquid ratios, what is liquidity ratios? So current ratio, liquid asset test ratio. What is current ratio? Current assets upon current liabilities. So also known as working capital ratio, liquid asset test ratio, current assets minus inventory upon current liability, also known as quick ratio. So rate of inventory turnover, cost of goods sold upon average inventory. Trade receivables turnover, trade receivables upon trade sales into 365. Trade payables turnover, trade payables upon trade purchases into 365. So all these things you need to learn the formula. So this formula is important for to calculate the various ratios in ratio analysis or statement of various analysis of financial statements in IGCSE accounting. So learn them first. So before applying, so and how to calculate the various ratios and that is also being discussed. So dear students, this is topic 1.1 from relevant for AS level. So we'll be discussing types of business entity. So what are the various types of business entity, like different types of business entity are sole trader, partnership, limited company, including public limited company, PLC, The advantages different with this type of business, sources of finance and methods of funding. So what are the various what are the advantages, what are the drawbacks? So then all these things we'll be discussing in this this one topic 1.1. So 1.1, 1.1.1. So these topics we'll be discussing here. So everything. So questions may be asked. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of types of business entity to take relevant decisions. Questions on limited liability partnership will not be set. So limited liability partnership is different from partnership. So this is limited liability partnership. Be careful. So this is limited liability partnership. Limited liability partnership is different. Partnership is different. So limited liability partnership is entirely different. Questions will there is this is out of your scope. This is out of your syllabus. So this is what you will learn in first topic. So then the accounting system. So what do you learn in accounting system? So So, dear students, dear friends, we have discussed topic 1.1. So, topic 1 point is all about theory, like what are the various types of business organizations, like individual, partnership, limited company. So, this second, that second topic 1.2, the accounting system. So, here we will be discussing the various concepts related to the accounting system, the principles of double entry to record business transaction, the accounting equation. So, then the role of books of revenue in record of business transactions like sales journal, sales return journal, purchase return journal, cash book. So preparation of ledger accounts, how to prepare ledger accounts, the purpose of trial balance, advantages and disadvantages of double entry recording. So various accounting concepts like business entity, historic cost, money measurement, going concern, consistency, present, realization, duality, neutrality. So the use of computers accounting system. So all these things we'll be discussing. Plus, candidates are expected to use their understanding of accounting system to evaluate relevant accounting information and make informed business decisions. So questions will be asked on that. Knowledge of specific applications of software is not required. Okay, so this is what you will learn in topic 1.2. This is that's all for topic 1.2. So coming to the next topic 1.4, so which is the reconciliation and verification. So this overall we will be discussing this topic in various subtopics like because there are too many concepts related to this reconciliation and verification. So should have understanding how to reconcile and verify ledger accounts using documentation from internal and external sources. The benefits and limitation of reconciliation and verification procedures. So particularly trial balance. How to candidates should have understanding errors which affect the trial balance, which do not affect the trial balance, like error of commission, error of principal, error of original entry, error of reversal, error of compensating errors. How to prepare ledger accounts and journal entries to correct errors using a suspense account. The effect on the financial statements of correction of errors, the benefits and limitations of a trial balance. So altogether, all these we'll be discussing as one very big topic. So a lot of questions have been asked in previous examinations, and so we'll be discussing and solving a lot of question papers. So a lot of questions, practice questions. We'll be discussing and we'll be solving a lot of plenty of questions. So it is as good. So the other important topic is topic 1.4.3 bank reconciliation statements. So in this, a lot of questions how to prepare. Candidate should have understanding of updating of cash books, how to update a cash book, how to prepare bank reconciliation statements, the benefits and limitations of preparing bank reconciliation statement. Altogether, we'll be doing a lot of questions based on this practice questions. So mock questions from previous exam question papers. So a lot of questions will be solving and discussing, and this is also very important, and it is quite easy also. So very simple things you need to understand, and you can do. So easily you can score marks. So this is very simple topic, and easily you can understand and do that. So that's all. So we'll be discussing a lot of questions based on this. So another important topic 1.5. So preparation of financial statements. So they are here. They will be discussing a lot of various subtopics with relevant to sole traders, partnerships, and companies. So candidates will consider how figures in a trial balance need to be adjusted in order to prepare a complete set of financial statements in accordance with the matching or accrual concept and other financial fundamental accounting concepts. In particular, candidate will examine different formats of financial statements. So we'll address specific assets. So all these things for the expected formats. So formats are given, so you can just have a look in the textbooks. Uh, so we'll be discussing on the formats also, so don't have to worry about that. So adjustments to draft financial statements. So any financial statement, whether it is income statement or a statement of financial position, several adjustments have to be made, like how to calculate and record adjustments in effect on financial aspect of accruals and prepayments of incomes and expenses. So how to record accruals, prepayments, and irrecoverable debts, recovered, and allowance for recovered debts, depreciation, inventory valuation, correction of errors. So altogether, all these are equally applicable for all the forms of enterprise, like whether they are sole traders or partnership or limited companies. So all these adjustments are common. So understanding is very same. Almost understanding is very important and common. But you need to be very sure, very thorough in all these concepts. So first you need to be thorough in these concepts, and then you have to apply these concepts for financial statements of sole traders, partnerships, and company. So sole traders candidates are understanding of how to prepare a statement of profit or loss financial position for a sole trader from full or incomplete accounting records also. So from double entry as well as from incomplete record also. The business may be trading or service business. So you'll be learning how to prepare profit and loss statement and financial position statement for trading as well as service business plus trading and income. So full accounting records or incomplete recording accounting records as well. So very specific to sole traders. So you should be thorough in these particular concepts, right? These particular concepts you should be thorough. So then you need to apply these principles, these concepts while preparing financial statements of sole traders. So then the job is done. So that is what you have to be thorough in these and application of this. So another important topic, 1.5.3, candidates understanding of how to prepare a statement of profit or loss appropriation account. So here there is an additional thing called appropriation account. So this particular appropriation account is not there in case of sole traders, but appropriation account will be there in partnership. And statement of financial position for a partnership form full of incomplete accounting records. So same thing. So incomplete records, complete records. So maybe trading or the service business. So then here, but in this case, there is only one capital account, but in this case, there will be several capital accounts. So why partners maintain separate capital accounts and current accounts? So the concept of capital accounts and current accounts, how to prepare partners, current capital and current accounts, the contents of partnership deed, advantages of partners maintaining partnership from the provisions of Partnership Act 1819, respect of partners, salaries, division of profit loss, interest. So interest on capital and interest on loans. So all these things have to be very clear, and you should know all these concepts and application of these concepts along with along with these concepts. So again, you should be apply. You will be applying. You will be given adjustments related to these concepts, related to these points or these items. So then you will be applying relevant knowledge. So while preparing financial statements of partnership firms. So another important topic, preparation of financial statements of limited companies. So in this, you'll be learning about limited companies, the features and accounting treatment, ordinary shares, bonus issue, bonus shares, right shares, debentures, dividends, and leases. So there is no questions will be asked on preference shares. So advantages in the company, shareholders of the company making a bonus issue, right issue of shares, advantages and shareholders of company issuing shares, issuing debentures, the distinction between capital reserves, revenue reserves, retained earnings, and general revenue, how to prepare ledger accounts to record issue of ordinary shares at par at premium. So right issue at par at premium, bonus issue of shares. So all these things we'll be discussing for the purpose of bonus issue. Revaluation result is not to be used. So all these things you need to remember how to prepare statement of profit loss, statement of financial position, statement of changes in equity. So here there is one more statement called statement of changes in equity for a limited company. So each and everything there is a new thing in. That's why the accounts are also uh, different. So each individual type of problems we'll be discussing, and you are supposed to learn. So supposed to prepare financial statements of companies incorporating the various adjustments like prepaid expenses, depreciation, so even all those adjustments. So candidates are expected to use their understanding of financial accounts of sole traders, partnerships, and limited companies to evaluate relevant information and make informed business decisions. So that's all in 1.5. So another important topic is analysis and communication of accounting information. Candidates will evaluate diverse interests and range of information needed by parties who may have interest. So users, who are the users like owners, managers, employees, investors? So stakeholders. So they are all known as stakeholders. So why they need information? All these things we will be discussing. How to communicate. So that particular thing. Analysis and communication. So calculation and evaluation of ratios. This is the another part subtopic. So wherein we'll be discussing various important ratios like profitability ratios, liquid ratios, efficiency ratios. So gross profit margin, markup margin, profit margin, return on capital employed, expenses to revenue ratio, operating expenses to revenue ratio, liquid ratios like current ratio, asset test ratio, efficiency ratios like non-current assets turnover, trade receivables turnover, trade payables turnover, inventory turnover, rate of inventory turnover. All these things you'll be learning. So must use the formula given in the appendix. So these are the only formula accepted in the candidate's response. So you should not use any other formula. So from any other source, you are supposed to use only these formula. So we be very careful in using the formulas. How to evaluate the profitability, liquidity, and efficiency of organization when reporting ratios. Possible measures to improve the profitability, liquidity, efficiency of organization, the limitations of accounting information. So candidates are expected to use their understanding of calculation and evaluation of ratios to make informed business decisions using relevant information. So all these things, that's all in point six. This is all in accounting for AS level. So then there is one more thing, one more sub part known as cost and management. So we'll be discussing that. So cost and management. So, dear students, another part in AS level. So, cost and management accounting. So, there is this is sub part. So, wherein you will be discussing cost and management accounting related concepts. So, the first lesson in this first topic in this is cost and cost behavior. That is 2.1. So, candidates will examine the classification of costs and need to distinguish between the ways in which cost may be treated in terms of traceability and behavior. So material and labor. So material and labor should have understanding of accounting for material and labor costs. Identify the total fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost, and step cost. So how to identify and calculate the elements of direct and indirect cost. How to calculate the value of closing inventory using first in, first out, FIFO, and weighted average AVCO methods, perpetual and periodic. So the principle of just-in-time management of inventory. So all these things we'll be discussing in cost and cost behavior. Topic 2.1, 2.1.1. So candidates are expected to use their understanding of accounting for materials and labor to evaluate relevant information and make informed business decisions. So this is cost and management accounting 2.1, 2.1. So there is a So there is another subtopic in cost and management accounting. So traditional costing methods. So costing applications, how to apply traditional costing methods in preparing costing statements using unit, job, and batch costing. Principles in both manufacturing and service business are applicable. So what do you mean by absorption costing? The difference between a cost center and cost unit. So how to apportion costs, allocate and apportion costs, over expenditure between production and service departments. How to allocate over the expenditure rates using appropriate basis. So under absorption, over absorption, overheads. So absorption costing. So these are all very important topics. So we'll be discussing in cost and management accounting. So very relevant specific questions will be asked on absorption costing. So and again you have to be very thorough in this. Plus again these topics will be discussed in A level as well. So that's why you should be super thorough in this. So because this has much significance with the A level as well. So another important topic, cost volume profit analysis. So this is again one topic in cost and management accounting. So very specific to cost and management accounting, very important. And again, these principles are applied in A level as well. So questions, combined questions will be asked from AS level and A level. So you have to be very strong in this, super thorough in this. So the advantages and limitations of cost volume profit analysis, effective of cost profit data as a support of management decision, how to apply costing concepts to make business decisions, recommendations using supporting data, non-financial factors and their significance. So candidates are expected to use their understanding of costing to evaluate relevant accounting information and to make business informed business decisions. So this is all you will learn in AS level, cost and management accounting. So marginal costing. So another important topic from cost and management accounting is marginal costing. So 2.2.3 candidates should have understanding of how to calculate the contribution of the product, how to interpret a break-even chart, how to calculate break-even chart, contribution to sales ratio, level of output or sales to achieve target. So margin of safety, to use and limitations of break-even analysis, prepare costing and profit statement using margin and costing, how to prepare a statement reconciling profit, reported profits using margin costing, absorption costing. So very important topics, very important, very interesting. So very easy if you understood the concept. So if you understand, it's damn simple. And scoring topic, you'll have fun. You'll really enjoy this topic because it has a lot of. It is very easy and it's very interesting. Like I don't have to. So so So, dear friends, going further a step ahead, preparation of financial statements, which is 3.1, topic 3.1. So, we'll be discussing financial statements of clubs and societies. Should have understanding of distinction between cash receipts and payments account and income and expenditure account. How to define and calculate the accumulated form. How to prepare from full or incomplete accounting records. Okay, so they would have given full records as well, and they would have given incomplete records also. So how to prepare receipts and payments account, how to prepare trading and revenue generating activities account, so subscriptions account, income and expenditure account, statement of financial position, how to account for other receipts including life memberships and donations, how to make adjustments to financial statements. So similar to how we used to do in case of like prepaid expenses, prepaid incomes, received accruals and depreciation. So all those adjustments related to all those adjustments which you already learned in AS level. So how to evaluate possible sources of finance and method of fundraising. So even in clubs and societies. So related to that, so we will be discussing all about that in section topic 3.1.3. So, dear friends, welcome. So, now this is topic 3.1.4. So, part of 3.1. So, wherein we will learn all the problems related to manufacturing business, like candidates should have understanding of how to prepare manufacturing account to differentiate between direct and indirect expenses and to include factory profit. So, this is very crucial and very technical part in this calculation of factory profit and how to prepare for a manufacturing business, a statement of profit or loss and a statement of financial position, how to account for manufacturing profit and elimination of unrealized profit. So this is very important. So this is another important adjustment which is very critical, which we will be discussing here. And from unsold inventory, the reasons why a business may account for manufacturing profits. So this is very important topic as far as A level is concerned. Lot of questions regularly questions are being asked in this on this particular topic, and you have to be very strong in this. Like you have to understand very technical part so that to secure better grades. So, dear students, this is topic 3.2, regulatory and ethical consideration. Particularly, this is theory oriented. And some practical questions also can be asked from this, but it's very important. So you should basically you need to understand the concepts related to ethical considerations and regulatory requirements. So you have to follow certain rules. So that is what is expected from this particular topic. Okay, candidates will examine the regulatory framework by exploring a number of international accounting standards, how they are applied within a set of financial statements. Candidates will full further consider the wider ethical issues which underpin the practice of accounting and the end of accountants, and the need of for accountants and business to behave in an appropriate manner. Related to this, candidates will assess the nature of stewardship in the context of a limited company, which will enable candidates to develop a more detailed appreciation of the issues of ownership and control introduced in 1.1.1 and the associated requirement for an independent examination of financial statement by an auditor. So, international accounting standards. What are the various international accounting standards? So, candidates should have understanding of the main provisions of each of the following international accounting standards. Okay, so particularly this particular, so there are so many couple of accounting standards, but for you at this level in A level, so you just need to know this. So IAS 1, so presentation of financial statements, inventories. So IAS 7, statement of cash flows. IAS 8, accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates and errors. So events after the reporting period, what to do, and property, plant and equipment, the schedule of assets, all those things, and impairment of assets, how to trade, how to record, how to make the proper entries, provisions, contingent liabilities, and contingent research concepts related to that, and intangible assets, all concepts related to this. So you need to be very familiar with all these things. So basically, you have to understand the deep concepts related to this and apply. So very important for A level students, and it is the stage where you're expected to be matured enough to understand how to apply accounting in real practical situations. So this is very important, and it's very challenging and very interesting topic. So be updated and keep learning. So, dear friends, another topic 3.2.2, ethical considerations. So, this is basically a theory, but a lot of questions are again asked from this. So, very important, highly scoring, and just if you read once or twice, you can understand and you can write the answers on your own. So, ethical considerations. Candidates should have understanding of the need for an ethical framework in accounting, the fundamental principles of integrity, objectivity, professional competence and nuclear confidentiality, professional behavior, how the ethical behavior of accountants and auditors impact the business and other stakeholders, the social implications of decision making. So the concept of auditing. So audit, what is auditor? So this is very important as a student of accounting profession. You should know who an auditor is and who an accountant is. So it is very important. So very interesting, challenging things are coming ahead. So be conservant. So be proactive. So learn things and enjoy, keep enjoying. So regulatory and ethical considerations. Okay, they continue. So topic 3.2.3, auditing and stewardship of limited companies. So why is auditing necessary? What is auditor? Role and responsibilities of the auditor. The differences between external audit and internal audit. So the difference between a qualified and unqualified audit report. So particularly these are the things related to CPA. So the professional qualification. The professional qualified person is known as auditor. Okay, so all these things related to this, so this will enhance your interest in the subject of accountancy. And this is the next higher level auditor. Auditor oversees the accountant's work. So he is so the next level person. So the highest level in finance and taxation. So external audit, internal audit, qualified, unqualified audit report, stewardship and the role of directors and the responsibilities to shareholders, the importance of true and fair view in respect of financial statements. So very high level understanding is required. So candidates are expected to use their understanding of ethical considerations and auditing to collect relevant information, make informed business decisions. So keep learning, keep so, dear friends, analysis and communication of accounting information. So, this is in A level, so very important. So, candidates will further enhance the appreciation of accounting ratios by extending knowledge of the range of ratio introduced in 1.6. So, this already some ratios are done in AS level. So, this is a further step ahead wherein you will have more critical ratios, very important, and how to correlate and apply the formula to use, but you have to strictly follow these formulae which are given in the material, so you are not supposed to follow any other formula. So analysis and communication of accounting information, so the understanding of how to calculate the following ratios like working capital cycle days, networking capital, networking assets to revenue, interest cover, gearing ratio, earnings per share, price earning ratio, dividend per share, dividend yield, dividend cover. So all these ratios, you should know how to calculate all this. So candidates must use the formula given in appendix. These are the only formula accepted in candidates response. So you cannot take any formula from here and there. So you have to use only these formulas. How to analyze and evaluate the results of the ratios and draw conclusions. You will be given questions on to find out, calculate and comment on the ratios, and how to make appropriate recommendations to stakeholders on the basis of analysis undertaken. The interrelationship between ratios. You should be able to comment and give your conclusions. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of the calculation and evaluation of ratios to make informed business decisions using relevant information. So, okay. So it is challenging, very good, and very important. These ratios will keep coming up to your MBA level and so in graduation as well. So you'll be. This is not just in A levels, but this will again appear up in the next levels also, and up to even MBA levels as well. So a master's level as well. So bachelor's level, master's level. So all these levels it keeps coming. This is very important, and so keep learning. So very easy if you understand the. I understand how to apply and how to correlate, apply and remember, and all these skills. Very much keep enjoying. So the next topic, computer accounting systems. Candidates who further expand their understanding of accounting systems gained in 1.2. So candidates will explore approaches to managing transfer of accounting data to computer system. So this is more a theory. So should understanding the process of transferring the business accounts to a computerized accounting system, ways in which integrity of accounting data can be ensured during the transfer to a computerized accounting system. So more particularly, this is more a theory, and so no questions particularly. It is just a theory part, a simple topic. So it's just very simple. So you must be knowing this without learning as well. So dear friends, welcome. So cost and management accounting A level. So here we are starting with cost and management accounting A level. So activity based costing. So this is a very important topic. So every time questions are asked. So this is forming part of this one way series, four series. Questions candidates for application of activity based costing as contrast to traditional way costing method. So you will be asked to work out questions based on this is related to overheads. So overheads which you already learned in A level. So this is further a step ahead. So we will be asked to uh, maybe see candidates will be given and insight into how overheads will allocate to products using measures which are not directly related to traditional overhead basis such as direct labor hours, but rather the activities which cause the cost to be incurred in the production process. Cost drivers, candidates will assess the uses and limitations of such a system. So activity-based costing. Candidates should have understanding of the application of activity-based costing, the uses and limitations of ABC, what is meant by cost driver, how to use ABC to identify the appropriate cost driver, apportion allocate overheads, calculate the total cost and selling price of a unit, the effect of different methods and overhead absorption on cost and profit, how to apply ABC costing techniques to make business decisions and recommendations using supporting data. So all these things. So standard costing. So standard costing, so this is the next topic we will discuss in the next class. So as of now, this is ABC. That's all in ABC. So we all together will work out problems from activities, from practical exercises, some past exam questions, mock exams, test your knowledge questions. So we'll be working out a lot of questions based on this. Okay, so keep. So, dear friends, standard costing. So, this is part of cost and management accounting in A levels. Standard costing very technical and it's head breaking. So, you might have to break your head on this. So, it's somewhat tricky and somewhat complicated if you don't understand. If you understand, it's very simple and definitely questions are asked from this. Every exam, almost every exam, questions are asked and very important and Interesting. So, candidates will consider how business may use a standard system of predetermined values as a basis of comparison with actual costs and revenues in order to assess performance. Candidates will explore possible reasons for the differences between actual and expected costs and revenues and how they are interrelationship between the differences. This will require an evaluation of how such information can be used to improve the budget preparation process and business performance. Candidates will also evaluate non-functional considerations which have much of an impact on business decisions. So, standard costing should have understanding of the meaning of system of standard costing in an organization, advantages, disadvantages, how standard costing can be used and need to prevent performance of business, to how to calculate the following variances: direct material price, direct labor variance, fixed overhead. So all these type of variances like possible causes or favorable adverse variances, how to make business decisions, significance of non-financial factors in cost accounting. So very important and interesting and very technical, highly technical. Okay, so very highly technical. In fact, you have to start working. You have to spend more time on this. So you have to spend more time on this, work more and more questions, practical exercises, activity questions, and examination questions, mock exams, test your knowledge questions. All these things you have to keep working. So to keep learning. So dear friends, welcome and let us continue with budgeting and budgetary control. So this is a topic from topic 4.3 from cost and management accounting. So budgeting and budgetary control. Candidates will investigate the reasons why an organization uses the system of budgetary control. This will involve the exploring the nature, purpose, and convenience of budgets, how they make use for purpose of planning and control to make an organization's objectives. So budgeting and budgetary control should have understanding of the advantages, disadvantages of budgetary control and system to an organization. Advantages, disadvantages, preparing budgets using spreadsheets. What is meant by master budget? How to prepare the following budgets like sales budget, production budget, purchase budget, labor budget, trade receivables, trade payables, cash, budgeted statement of loss, budgeted statement of financial position, limiting factors of production of budgets, benefits of flexible budget over fixed budgeting, prepare flexible statement, actual flexible budget data, how to prepare and reconcile flexible cost of budget with cost of production, actual cost of production, how to make a statement reconciling flexible budget profit to actual profit, how to make business decisions and recommendations using supporting data, the behavioral aspects of budgeting, including targets, incentives, and motivation, the significance of non-financial factors in budgeting. So very important, interesting, and challenging topic for you guys. So start practicing and learning and practice more and more to secure better grades. So budgeting and budgetary control very important, technical and scoring. So, dear friends, investment appraisal. So, this is a topic from cost and management accounting, the last topic possibly in cost and management accounting, and obviously in A level entire syllabus, this is the last topic. So, investment appraisal. So, this is also known as capital budgeting because in this we'll learn how to evaluate various investment techniques like payback period, accounting rate of return, net present value, internal rate of return. So very important and very easy, very simple topic, very easy, but you need to understand the various concepts. And so you may get confused very often, but it's very simple. There are certain things known as present value, future value, so discounted cash flow, so when to discount, when not to discount. So all these things you have to keep in mind, otherwise you will be messing up this entire thing. So you should be thorough in these questions on discounted payback will be set. Questions involving visiting value and investment banner will not be set. So suppose it's very simple and it's a scoring and very interesting. So if you get this question from this, you'll be very happy. If you understood the topic, it comes in even in business studies as well. So questions are asked in business studies also related to this. So it's a very important topic for you to learn and enjoy. So keep learning. All the best.